Yes. Hi guys. Uh, Welcome to Joyland sessions. Today we are here. It is our Civic Education edition 4, and the purpose for us to continue with these sessions is to pass information or ensure that our clients understands what can really affect them in the areas of life, and we are very much grateful for your support. So karibuni sana. I'm Samuel Karori, director Joyland Beacons Limited, and we are very much overwhelmed by your support. Since we started our civic education, we have of course met a very great support from you people. Yes, we have a new civic education sessions, and the reason why I call them new, it is a topic that have never been discussed. Again, it is a topic that is a little bit away from the survey work that you usually know us. It is not on our areas of expertise. Luckily enough, I am a professional mediator. I trained mediation last year with the Suruhu mediators, and I'm much grateful because it is one of the areas that affects our client, even if it is not directly, but sometimes it does. So we sat down with my team and felt it's important for us to have this topic of mediation, to understand what is mediation, and because it is something that I have knowledge with, so it is good to share. However, it is good to put a disclaimer that mediation it's a very confidential. It have very confidential sessions, so maybe some of the areas that I will be handling or I will touch, I might not disclose much information, but I will try my level best to give what is important to all of us. So karibuni sana. This is Joyland Beacons Limited, where I usually say that your space is always your signature. And you have heard a lot from the society. I know we are living in a community whereby there is a lot of conflicts. Not only conflicts because of land, because some family wrangles, conflicts in terms of maybe corporate conflicts of interest from the corporate world, and all that kind of conflicts. So disputes are all over. We're in a society whereby you have to maybe sometimes find yourself in a corner whereby you have maybe done what is not pleasing the other person, and that's why the government felt it important through the judiciary to come up with this mediation. Now, having said that, allow me to start by asking or giving out what is mediation. And as I talk about mediation, we shall relay much on what affects our client, especially in the matter land. So mediation sometimes can be done through the people who want to divorce. It can be done through among the people who are fighting, all those kind of cases. But for me, my information aligns with any matter regarding land. You can also type there your question as I continue, and even you can tell us where are you watching us from. We'll be very much grateful. So mediation is an alternative dispute resolution. It is an alternative dispute resolution. So an alternative means there is other ways that you can solve your issue. However, you chose an alternative dispute resolution, that is ADR. That is ADR. And under the ADR, there are key structured process. That is, mediation is a key process under the ADR umbrella where parties resolve their dispute with the assistance of a neutral third party. That is a mediation. It is a process where there is that where parties solve their issues being helped by a person with who is expertised on mediation to solve their own issues. So, in mediation being a process, of course, it tells you that it is a collaboration between now the mediator, the two disputing parties. So that means it is designed to establish a safe, balanced environment to understand and explore flexible solution to a dispute or a conflict. So collaborative problems, when it comes to the collaborative problems, they moves away from adversaries mindset. Yeah. So after mmekwaruzana, you now decide that you want to settle your dispute. You now move away from the interest and focus on an open mind, or a mindset whereby you can be empowered by a particular party to ensure that you have solved your dispute. So, having said that, who is this mediator? Because we have talked about mediation, it is a process. But who is this mediator? A mediator is an independent, neutral person who has the expertise to assist the disputing individual to reach a negotiated settlement. This person, a mediator, must be a very neutral person. A mediator also must be a person who is a good reasoner. Of course, a person who can sit down and listen to the disputing parties. It is a neutral person. That means hataegemea side moja. It is a person who is very neutral, with a very expertise knowledge on how to assist disputing parties to come up with a negotiated settlement. Yeah. So that is the definition of a mediator. And in this case, mediator, of course, assists the both parties to be able to air out their opinion, to discuss the matter that is affecting them. That is a mediator, and he must be a person who is very independent, a person who cannot be coerced, So some of the core functions of mediator or roles, he determines the suitability. Yeah, mediator determines the suitability. So the mediator one of the function is to assess if the mediation is the appropriate process. Yeah, after listening, that is in other words we are saying is like self determination. Yeah, when the parties that have the dispute have a sitting with the mediator is the one to assess whether the issue that was on the table that have been brought by the disputing parties is worth having the sessions of mediation. Yeah, remember, mediation is a process. So before we start this process, it is always good to screen whether the issue that have been brought by disputing parties are worthy being undertaken through the mediation session. That is called self-determination. He is the one to do that determination. He determines what to do and how it will be done. So again, another role of a mediator, it is to facilitate the sessions. Yeah, he should be. We said he is an independent person and a very neutral person with an expertise knowledge on how to settle the dispute. So in that case, he is the one who facilitates. He is not there to judge. Yeah, and this is different from the judge. Mediator is different from a judge, because a judge is the person who determines what should be done. Yeah, but mediation, a mediator is a person who wants to understand how best or how can we solve the issue you have for better future. Yeah, and I always give this example that for him to facilitate, he also guides and he guides the dialogue. Yeah, he guides the dialogue and give everyone a structured, balanced opportunity to participate. Yeah, get it? So he facilitates the process by guiding the dialogue and giving a very balanced opportunity for both parties to participate and also to air their concerns. What is this that is affecting them? What is this that they have made them to come in the mediator to help them solve this dispute? And that is the best way. That is one of the good things when we talk about mediation, because the moment he facilitates, that means even the parties will own. Yeah, are we together? Yes. So the parties will own that, they will own their opinion, and also they will own what they will agree. So mediator does not dictate like a judge. You know, in the court of law, a judge is the one that says what the law says and gives directives on what should be, on how it can be done, and who will be affected, and who is the winner, who is the loser. But in mediation is a win-win. In most cases, it is a win-win situation, because you sit down with them, you facilitate the process, and let them tell you which other opinions that they have to solve that matter that is disturbing their life. Another role of mediator, it is to do a support evaluation. Yeah, that is a very key role. Support evaluation. This means that he assists the parties to realistically evaluate options and reach an agreement. Yeah, so critically they sit down and ask themselves, which options do we have for us to solve this issue? They first evaluate, ni kama kudiagnose, yeah, ugonjwa fulani, and sasa after umejua this is what is disturbing my life, sasa unaambiwa this is the kind of a medicine you have to take for you to get healed. And in most cases, when you are doing evaluation, many options can come in. So the work of mediator is to be very keen and have a listening ear, so that the parties can get that a conducive environment to participate or to evaluate themselves and come up with amicable solution. Yeah. So another role, because of time, it is about documentation of the agreement. So it is the work of mediator. Of course, immediately after maybe they have agreed, it is the work of mediator to light up agreements, do the similar to ensure that they have signed and finalize that agreement. That agreement is binding, but we will reach out to that point. It is really binding in the process, even in the law of Kenya. So tutazungumzia bahari wanafanya. Another thing, it is to maintain confidentiality. That is the work of mediator. Maintaining confidentiality is to ensure that whatever the party, when another party is speaking, the other party remains silent and gives that environment for disputing party to address the issues. It is important to let you know that the sense of confidentiality is very key when it comes to mediation. So when we talk about maintaining confidentiality, remember, mediation is voluntary. You cannot be coerced to get into the sessions of mediation. So having said that, of course, we also tend to make it private and very confidential. Si kitu unaweza enda ukiambia kila mtu tumetoka kwa mediator, this is what have been done. And if you happen to have maybe the advisors, we always guide you to remember the ground rules of mediation. So about maintaining also confidentiality, it brings again sense of this mediator is the one to set the housekeeping, the ground rules, and to let the parties understand why they are in that session. Yeah, and in most cases, it happens that people can come with a lot of burdens, carrying a lot of issues that have not been solved. Yeah, they maybe where they have been, the environment is not good. So when they come to mediator, it is good to set some ground rules, and that is work of mediator. Sense of confidentiality. It really helps both the parties to speak without fear, and even to be able to address the matters that are affecting them without feeling that after this information might leak outside, and it can really affect maybe him in one way or the other. So that is why we really insist that mediation is a place of confidentiality. And in that case, we have two documents that we usually sign in mediation session. And one of the document is document that is talking about confidentiality. Yeah, you have to sign that document that you will be firm, you will of course be respectful, you will, when you are communicating, you will not use the language that is abusive, and of course everything that you shall share in the session of mediation shall remain confident. Failure to which, of course, after signing that agreement, you can be sued if you try to leak out information in a biased way. So that is one document. Another document that we usually sign when we are doing mediation is the agreement. Now, after they have agreed, of course, we usually make an agreement. So when it comes to documentation, that is the work of mediator, ensuring that he have documented everything. I hope you are getting something. I'm sure now we know what is mediation, and how the process of this mediation can happen, and who is this mediator. Yeah, and that's good. So I want us to talk about two categories of dispute, and I wish I had a way of sharing some of the diagram, but unfortunately I don't know how it can happen. But I have the dispute. I have two types. That is the dispute versus conflicts. And I would like us first to understand what is the difference between the dispute and the conflict, so that the moment we understand that, as we go to the next session, it will be easier for us to understand how mediation process is undertaken. So a dispute is a disagreement about a specific matter or a localized problem. Get it right. A disagreement about a specific, that is a dispute. A specific matter or a localized problem. It is generally focused on a distinct and a desirable issues. It is easier to be, it is the issue that can be addressed. Yeah, that is a dispute. Well, conflict results when a dispute is not resolved, and then escalates into a higher levels of disagreement. That is a conflict. It is a result when a dispute is not resolved. Yeah, so conflict iko juu ya dispute. Like, it starts very easier. Naambianga wasee ni kama ka mountain. Yeah? Pale chini una enjoy peace. Yeah? Ukienjoy peace, msiposolve hiyo issue yenu, mnaenda the next level. Differences. Mkiingia kwa differences, if you don't again solve, mnajikuta because differences inafaa kukuwa solved. Isipokuwa solved, hizo differences tunaenda kwa disagreement, because kuna dispute fulani haiko solviwa. After disagreement tunaingia problem, inakuwa ni shida, because you had your own peace, somebody just comes and do something that really brings difference between you and him or her, and then it is not solved, it becomes disagreement, mnaanza kuargue, inaenda hivi ikigrow, inakuwa shida. In the society now they start understanding there is a problem between you and maybe your neighbor. This is a dispute that is growing so slowly, and if it is not solved on a level of a dispute, it can now explode like a volcanic and become a conflict. And of course, conflict now resorts to violence and even war. Yeah? So, wakati inafika kwa vita, like, okay, I don't like speaking about 207, what happened. I'm one of the victims. And immediately kulikuwa na hiyo vita ya 207, kulianza tu disagreement. watu wakachaguana, one of the party akasema yeye alikuwa amewin election, so kukakuwa na differences. Na hizo differences wakati hazikusolviwa in 2007, tena wakaanza kusema I'm the one, nimeshinda. Kukakuwa na disagreement, wakaanza mvutano, ni nani atatangazwa akiwa president. Later on, because they did not agree in a disagreement stage, now it can develop ikakuwa dispute. So it is now the parties, it is now the wenye wanafuata this party A na party B wakaanza hasa kusumbuana. You remember 2007 well, maybe even more than me when it happened. So inaendelea hivyo sasa, kwa dispute inaanza kukua ni tribe yule, lakini wakati ilikuwa pale chini ilikuwa differences, kama ingesolviwa haingefika hapo, yeah. So later on ika escalate, ikakuwa conflicts, vita ikaanza, post election ikaanza. And how was it solved? Alikuwa anaitwa nani? Huyu msee alikuja kusolve, Kofi Annan, yeah. Kofi Annan wakati alikam sasa ikiwa already ni conflict na iko violence, ni war. There was war the whole country, yeah. So wakati alikuja, that's why sasa tulikuja tukasema, akakuja akasema we have to have a document called dispute resolution intervention, yeah. So he came and of course he in charge of the peace in Africa. So when he came in Kenya, there is that dispute resolution intervention. He started doing the intervention between the party A and party B. I don't want to mention them because I don't want to be asked which kind of ambulance, the kind of a car that can carry me. So I just want to praise him. But I know we understand and we remember so well what happened in 2007. So later on, after the dispute resolution intervention, what came after, it is about now what? Problem solving. So he asked both parties what was the problem. Yeah, and later on problem wakati walikubaliana wakasema this was the problem. I felt denied the right for me to lead this country, and the other party said no, I am the one who won. Mwingine akasema form 34 was not signed. Wengine wakasema sijui kuna kura zilitoka Tharaka-Nithi, Dhuraku, you know, all those small stories. It brought a lot of conflicts in our country. So problem solving ikakam. Kofi Annan bado akaendelea akatengeneza kitu inaitwa agreement. Ilikuwa inaitwa nusu mkate agreement. Yeah, I remember it very well. Ilikuwa nusu mkate. Sasa ni wewe huwezi appoint ministers wote on your own side. Yeah, you have to bring this opposition. Wakakuwa na kitu inaitwa nusu mkate. That is just a way of trying to solve the disagreement that was there, so that they make the agreement. So lazima wangekama kuna kitu inaitwa nusu mkate government. Yes. Kwa hiyo nusu mkate maisha ikaendelea. So kukakuwa na kitu inaitwa acceptance. Ya kuwa pia watu wengine wamepoteza watu wao, ni kweli uchumi umeharibika, things are not good the way they want to be. So that is all about between dispute. I hope I have really able to explain it well. Between dispute, conflict, problem and disagreements, how it can escalate to become war in our country. So later on after acceptance, tukarudi kwa peace yetu, but si ile peace ilikuwa ya mwanzo, ni hii peace ingine tofauti, peace 2. Peace ya pili sasa hiyo ni ile tu sha accept, mambo ilienda venye ilienda, and you have there's nothing you can do. So one of the goals when we are talking about the dispute and the conflicts is to address dispute early before they harden into a long-term conflicts. That is one of the goals. So anytime you have maybe a difference with your partner, or a difference with your brother, or a difference with your business people, please try your level best to solve it early before it hardens into a long-term conflicts. In other words, try to solve it early before it explode. Ikuwe kama volcanic. Ikisha burst pale juu, things will not be the same again. Yes. I hope you are getting something. What is mediation? The process of the role of mediator. Why should we have mediation? And all that. And maybe if you have any question, I will keep on checking on my phone. If you have any question, you can please ask. I will be able to answer. So I want to open to get into your inbox, so that if there is some questions that maybe you have, I can also answer as I continue. From the role of mediation, the factions, and the difference between the conflict and the dispute, then now we can be able now to talk about why choose mediation. Kwa nini you choose mediation over the court? Yeah? Kwa nini you choose mediation badala uende kotini? So that is a very good question that I want us to, I can see some people have asked questions. Thank you. I see, amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Joyland, for sharing knowledge with us through the sessions that you bring us. We really run. Thank you so much. We also appreciate you for watching. A powerful topic. Thank you so much for that positive comment. Karibu sana. So somebody here is asking, anasema excellence. Where in Kenya can one learn to become a certified mediator? That's another question that I will be answering. Na wale watu wa mediators, suluhu mediators, janipea advert, but I will talk about where you can get that knowledge. Yes, let's continue with our topic of mediation, and I want us now to move to part 2 of this session. Why choose mediation? Number 1, mediation is cost effective and rapid. It is very cost effective. That means it is less expensive. Yeah, mediation is less expensive and much faster as a way of solving dispute compared to traditional court process. So why are we saying it is less expensive? Let's take this scenario. Today I want to illustrate it very keenly and in a very simple term. Two riders wamekoride hapa kwa bara, wamekoride kwa road. The moment walikoride, they had an accident. Polisi wakikuja, the process, I will first explain the process of how legally that issue can be solved. Na nikuje ni explain venye inaweza kuwa solved through mediation. Now, wakati wamekoride, polisi huwa anakam, he takes those two motorbikes anazipeleka police station, anaandika OB. The next thing ni DCI aende kwa barabara, angalie ni nani alikuwa na makosa, kila mtu aweze kuitwa, kila peke yake anaenda kwa nini. Then later on process ya koti inaanza, mnapelekwa kotini, kesi inaanza. After 2 years pikipiki zenu haziwezi kuwa released, so zitakaa pale police station until when mtasolve hiyo issue. Remember, the process of court, it is win-loser. So chances of you losing the case inakuanga, probability inakuanga 50-50, ama winning 50-50. So when we say it is cost effective, it means if it is a mediation side of it, wase wameogana wa pikipiki, wanachukua hizo pikipiki zao, wanaenda pale kwa chief, ama wanaenda kwa mediator. That is when now mediator facilitates the problem. So the mediator help them to come up with an opinion on how to solve issue. The first thing, and a screen, what was the damage? What is the issue? Who was on the wrong side? Yeah. So who should pay these side mirrors? Maybe side mirrors zilipata shida, zilivunjika. Yeah. Nani atatengeneza hii side mirror? And later on, tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, ama maybe after 2 days after the few mediation process, hawa wase wawili wa pikipiki wanarudi nini? Wanarudi kwa barabara na wanaendelea na kazi. Mind you, that's why we are saying it is a little bit faster way of solving dispute, because it does not delay. It is something you can just agree, yes, there was an accident and we have agreed that the party A will work on side mirrors and the tires, and party B will work on the engine and other affected parts of the motorbike. So you see, ile ingine ya court, pikipiki lazima zikae pale police station, na ndio maana mnakuta pale police station kumejaa nyasi, because most of them wanagojea kesi zao ziishe. So but mediation is such an easier way of solving problems. So another good reason of why we can choose mediation, it is a self-determined and customized solution. What does that mean? self-determined. Yeah, a self-determined, that means it is the parties who have the issue to come up with their own customized opinions. Yeah, the people decide what their solution is and customize it in a specifically to fit their practical needs. Yeah, for instance, today I want to be very practical. The way they can come up on self-determined is like, mimi kuna maybe there is a cup imeachwa na wazazi, na hii kikombe mimi napenda wakati nakunywa maji nayo, na maybe my sister yeye anapenda hiyo kikombe kwa sababu anataka kui-own for remembrance or for future. So what could happen wakati mediator anakuja kusikiza hawa watu wawili, it is easier for mediator to make a decision. Kwa hivyo wewe hauna anything attached na family, uko tuna unataka tu kukunywa kikombe juu ni kikombe, yeah, maybe a brother anakunyonga nayo maji kwa sababu ni kikombe, lakini the other sister hataki hiyo kikombe itumike kwa sababu ni remembrance ya vile aliishi na wazazi wake. So it is easier for mediator to request the both parties to buy a new cup, yeah, to solve the issue, so that huyu anataka kuiweka for remembrance, that is a person that ako in a suit position than the other mwenye tu anatumiaka kwa sababu ni a cup that can be used. And huyu na yeye mwenye alikuwa anataka kutumia kikombe juu ni kikombe tu anatumia, ananunuliwa yake na hiyo issue inaisha. So self determination, yeah, you are not coerced by anyone to make any decision, you are not coerced by anyone for you to agree. You have to screen the issue, come up with the opinion, suggestion, why, what, where, how, until you come to an agreement. So it's a self-determined process. Another point is about, it is a high rate of compliance. That means disputing parties easily comply with resolutions because it is their own solution rather than an imposed one. Yeah, why did I write this point? High rate of compliance. If it is the court of law, unasikianga, this is what we have, this is the ruling, and if there is any other party that have been aggrieved by the decision of this court, can proceed to the appellant court, yeah, within that days. And it becomes so hard, it is very expensive. Maybe even before you get that ruling, it takes for 50 years or even for 3 years. Let me be a little bit lenient, 3 years. And then the decision inakuwa against you. So what do you have to do? You have then to go and do an appeal to the court or to the high court. So you don't own the decision that the court have done because it is a win-lose decision. But when it comes to mediation, the reason why we are emphasizing that people should go for mediation, it is because mediation is a high rate of compliance. The moment mmekubaliana ya kwamba sisi kutoka leo gate itakuwa ikifungwa saa 4, you will make sure that by saa 4:50 already uko ready kwa nyumba. But because umeona by the way there is risk for you being outside the house past 10, but the other side umeona kwa sababu ni ulikama up na hiyo formula, ulikama up na hiyo policy, ulikama up na hiyo opinion. So even for you to ensure that everything that we shared in mediation inakuwa rahisi kwako kuensure umetimiza. So I keep on advising people, if you have a dispute, kwa sababu tuko kwa society yenye kila wakati kuna issues na come up now and then, please consider doing what? Consider going through mediation process. Yes, lastly, it is about harmonious and relationship preserving. This is easier. Mediation, it helps you to make friendship and also to keep the friendship. But court, it gives you the solution but scatters the friendship. I think that one I don't have much to explain. It is self-explanatory. Control and voluntarily. So I don't know whether there is any other person who have a question on the why we should choose mediation, or any clarity that you would like me to make on why should we choose mediation. I'm trying to check out. Let me see. Okay. That one I will answer. It is part of my presentation. Okay. Let's continue. Key advantages of mediation. One of the advantages is mediation, the parties have control, and it is a voluntarily. I talked about the voluntarily, and also they take control. Yeah, the mediator is there to facilitate. Remember, we said that the mediator is there to do self-determination whether the process is appropriate to undergo mediation. The mediator is there to do the documentation. Remember, I talked about 2 documents that are very crucial. That is confidentiality and also the agreement. The mediator is there now to facilitate. But one of the advantages is they take control. Yeah, parties decide the issues and whether to settle. Yeah, you can leave at any time. That means parties decide on the issues. The issue is the car. Yeah, what should we do with this car? Should we then sell it and do the take every person take proportion yake? Should we then take a comprehensive insurance and ensure that every person akilipa huu mwaka na analipa huu mwaka? It is they take control. They make decision on their own issues that are affecting them. So and when it comes about time, yeah, you can go to the session of mediation the day you are free. Yeah, you can choose when you have an opportunity for you to have mediation. Unlike the court you have, kama umeambiwa court itaanza saa 3, ni saa 3. Yeah. Kama umeambiwa court itakuwa saa 8, ni saa 8. If the court decides, it is now, today it is 17th of June 2026, the next session or the next mention itakuwa 17th of June 2027, you have no option. You cannot say, you have no say on it. Yeah? So ile ni kama ni daktari anakupea dawa, anakupea description. Lakini hii ingine unasema nikikunywa hii nitajikuna, unaambiwa basi kunywa maji mingi before, you know, it's you making your own decision. That is one of the best thing. Another key advantage of mediation, it is active participation. You can actively participate. Everyone has a chance to speak and be actively involved. And equal, you have equal rights to be heard by a mediator. Yeah, and a mediator, we said, is a person who is neutral, a very neutral person with an expertise on assisting to solve the disputes. So I hope tuna get something. Yes. So kuna about the process and flexibility. Yeah, about process and flexibility. That is another advantage. So procedures and schedules can be completely adjusted to suit the parties. That one I have spoken about. Unaweza amua mtafanya hii mediation every day until you solve. So kuna fair and friendly environment encourages collaborative cooperation and impartial problem solving. That means, yes, we have this issue, but we have a right to try and see how we can solve it. To reconcile is easy, but it becomes so hard if we don't agree. Even the Bible says that 2 people cannot work together unless they agree. So mediation is one of the areas that help parties to collaboratively have cooperations and impartial problem solving. better communication. So pia inasaidia ku get clarities. Yeah, another advantage ya mediation. Inakusaidia ku get clarities from the other party. Kwa nini alifanya vile alifanya? What he did maybe ilikuhurt. Kwa nini alifanya hivyo? So another advantage ya mediation ni kuwa ni friendly environment, encourages cooperation and problem solving. Pia ni fair. The mediator remains neutral and impartial. I have talked about it. Ni confidential. I have talked about it. Better communication because there is ground rules, housekeeping. Yeah, you know, it's a good process. I encourage, if you have any dispute, to try mediation process. Preserves relationships. Yeah, niliwaambia ile ya kotini ni ile the judge does not care whether this is your brother or your cousin or your father or your mother. It is all about what does the law say. It's all about what does the law say. And in this kind of a case, what is the repercussions? Yeah, but in mediation, mediation tends to preserve the relationship. Yeah, igawa hii mambo yote imefanyika, igawa maybe ndugu yako mdogo aliuza shamba bila baba kujua, bado ni ndugu yenu mdogo, na pia mnampatia nafasi ya sikizo kwa nini aliweza kuchukua title ya baba bila ruhusa yake na akauza ile shamba. Yeah, ina preserve relationship, inapeana nafasi ya kila mtu kujieleza. It is as easy as that. That is mediation. Yes. Any questions so far? I'm about to conclude. Remember the reason why we are doing this session. We said it is because we are expertise in land survey. So, and of course, you know, in most cases, area of land or any matter regarding the land have a lot of issues. That it is very sensitive. It needs people to have a place where they can be heard. They can raise their issues, be heard, and solved amicably. Because regardless of these issues, in most cases, mvutano kubwa inakuanga between the family members. Yeah, it is the conflicts of interest between the brothers and sisters. Sometimes even our fathers, our grandfather. These are our people. Yeah, but because of conflict of interest, we find ourselves not observing peace. And even it went further, inafanya mpaka wauane. They can even kill each other. So it is important for us to help you understand how you can solve it without hurting your brother, your uncle. It is the key. As I conclude, mediation is mediation allowed in Kenya? Mediation, is it part of judiciary today? In our day-to-day life. So allow me to go to the next slide about mediation under the Constitution of Kenya. Yes, it is a process that is recognized in our judiciaries. It is a process that have been recognized by our Constitution. In Article 159, subsection 2 of the Constitution, it is one of the articles that recognizes the mediation and encourages the people to use mediation as form of solving the dispute, yeah, and coming up with the resolution to be to help the family to remain united. So if you read that article for our Constitution, that is 159 subsection 2. It really encourages us to observe mediation before even we decide to go to the court. Because as we said, let me remind you, it is faster, it is less expensive, it is flexible, it is friendly, yeah. So it is good for you to help. Mediation is observed in judiciary through the court annex mediation. I'm a professional mediator, but I'm not a court annex mediator. There is a difference. A professional mediator, I have just graduated. I'm now at the pupillage, as we call. Yeah, so later on I can apply for an interview in the court, and if they see it fit for me to start mediating any matter regarding land, I become now the annex court. I'm a court annex mediator. So through court annex mediator, it is where the judge ukimpelekea issue. Remember, we said that in most cases there must be something that is making you to go to the mediation court. So sometimes squeeze it around wanaenda kotini wanaambiwa, I want you first to try the court annex mediation. Yeah, na wanarifaa hiyo kesi kwa mediators. So reason being, this is a formal mediation process conducted directly under the umbrella and administration of the court annex mediation. It is a process conducted directly under the umbrella of administration of the court. So wakati court inaangalia inaona hii issue yenu, it is not a criminal case, it is a civil case that need a person to try to reconcile the matter and of course come up with an issue. Remember I talked about ADR, yeah? So alternative dispute resolution. So court annex mediation, it combines the legal legitimacy of the judiciary with the speed, privacy, and cost benefits of ADR. ADR, remember, I said ADR is alternative dispute resolution. So, court annex, it is a very good process, and we need to, of course, when we have issues, let's work with mediation. In our office, and through my team, I think I'm through. I can first check whether there is any other question. Or somebody asked, where in Kenya can we learn to become a certified mediator? Like me, myself, I trained with the Suruhu mediators. Yeah, I trained with Suruhu mediators. You can Google them. And thank you for that question. Knowledge is power. So you can Google Suruhu mediators. They have 40-hour sessions of training, and now you get the certifications and all that. You get even the badge, and they will have they will work with you until you understand what is mediation and how to mediate. Yes, so okay, I think now I'm through. I'm through with mediation session. The reason why we did this talk or this session, it is because we have a script. I personally wrote that script to assist people how they can be able to solve their issues without going to court. So the script is on, and I know the episode 1 maybe will be posted, or it is already posted. I don't know, somebody should remind me. It will be posted. It was posted. So you can just go to our socials and watch that mediation script as we continue now bringing many episodes until we finalize. We shall undergo all this, the whole process. The process of mediation, it is a very long process. We shall undergo the whole process to assist people understand. So because mediation process inaanza na mediation opening statement, the moment umefika, the mediators gives the ground rules, as I have said. He sets the good environment, and then parties opening statement, that is in a category whereby now you people address your issue. Sometimes you will see the mediator writing down something for him to come up with an agenda. After the agendas are well written or aired, he go item by item until he finalizes. So item by item means, let's say there is a car and all that, we will show you on a script how it goes. Then wanaingia another stage ya exploration. Exploration is where now you give opinion. How can you solve your issues? So opinion generation. Then if there is something yenye kwa hizo agenda hamjakubaliana, unaingia kitu inaitwa private session. Private session is where now mediator anakutana na one party after the other. So wanajaribu kumuuliza how they can be able to solve the matter, then wanaingia kwa negotiation, how the process will be initiated, and later on wanaingia kwa documentation. Remember I said about documentation, one document is signed before the mediation process starts. Hiyo ni ya confidentiality. The last document yenye huwa inasainiwa ni agreement ambayo umekubaliana after all the issues have been done. So alafu kunakuwa na closing statement. Mnanishukuru, tunakula kabuzi kamoja, tunamalizia mediation process. It's as easy as that. You don't have to stay kwa koti for 3 years waiting for you to be given justice. Yeah, unaweza kuwa na win-win situation and it will really help you. Thank you so much for listening. Asanteni sana. Sijui kama kuna mtu ako na swali. Ninajaribu kuangalia hapa. Yes, this is Joyland Beacons Limited. We have a skit, as I said, and please we encourage you to watch our skit on mediation. But our skit, it will be much more, it will rely more on the land issues and the properties or the intestate after the parent or the parent dies, what really happens. The skit will talk about how the parent died, who benefited, what are some of the assets they left, and how it can be shared, but kutakuwa na hiyo resistance ya dispute between the sisters and brother, but at wrong land. Kwa hiyo skit tukimalizia watakuwa wamesikizana juu tutaingia kwa mediator. Pia mediation ni vizuri niseme inafanyangwa place neutral. A very neutral place like police station. Unaenda mnaomba boardroom, unafanyia huko, unaweza fanyia kwa chief, unaweza fanyia kwa court, kuna hizo boardrooms zinakuwa hapo kotini. Ensure pahali mnafanyia ni very neutral, ama mfanyie kwa ofisi ya mediator na hata venye ameseti viti zake zikuwe very neutral. So, sijui kama kuna mtu akona swali. Steve, watu wa TikTok wanasemaje? Watu wa Facebook wanasemaje? Hamna. Sawa. So, thank you so much. As I wind up, allow me to also appreciate you for watching and also for taking your time to learn. Knowledge is power, and with the moment you are equipped, it will really help you. My phone have gone off. Sijui kama kuna mtu ambaye anaweza nisomea ile question yenye iko kwa nini. That's why najaribu ku appreciate as you look whether kama kuna any other question. Again, we still have our paradise view. We have a project in Ongata Rongai, Kandisi. We are selling 50 by 100 at only 1.5 million, and they are in a very good place, a very developed place. All our plots have ready title deeds, and we are remaining with very few plots. So you can book site visit with us. It is free of charge, and definitely we shall take you there and give you a copy of the title deed. You conduct search and even get into the agreement. This Paradise View project, it was launched on 20th, and we have seen God. It is through you have made us to sell more than 20 of them. So we keep on encouraging you to be a good ambassador, so that we wind up on that project. But we have a good news. We have a new project in Kiserian. Yeah, Kiserian town is only 22. Is it 18 plus 10 from the CBD? That is 28. It is only 28 kilometers. Yes, from the CBD. And Kiserian is one of the town that is really growing so fast. It is and again a central town between Isinya, Gong, Kiserian, Rongai, Twala, and all those places. So we have a new project there, a place where you can set your residential home, a place where you can even do the commercial, the commercial purposes, that is like rentals, and it is only going for 1 million, and others we have even for 950 plots, and it depends on where, because we have several of them. Please book site visit with us, and all our plots have ready title deed. please don't miss out. In that place, we have very good schools, Happy Land, Lockfield, and many other schools that you know. Orelai School, Brookhart is only just near there, and it is a good place. So please, we encourage you to book site visit with us as we plan to take as many people as possible come Saturday. Asanteni sana, siko nimekuja kuuza mashamba. It is only a reminder. Thank you so much my team for those who prepared this live. Thank you so much for those who have watched. Na kwa hayo yote, utukufu kwa Mungu. ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. That is the way to go. That is where we get peace. That is where we set our family in a unity way. God bless you.